Right, what we're going to do, the ingredients we're going to use to make these pinto beans or this ham and beans. One, we've got a pound of we sorted through them, rinsed them, and these were soaked overnight. You can do the quick soak, do whatever you like, just follow the directions on the back of the pack. We've got some onions and bell peppers that I had from a previous cook, so we're going to start off with them, but there'll be some more bell pepper and onion going into the dish. We've got leftover ham bone, so can't have ham and beans without the ham. This is leftover. I had it in the freezer, leftover from Thanksgiving. It's still got quite a bit of meat and everything left on it, so that's what's going to provide, one, our flavoring for the base and the ham. Some minced garlic. We're going to use a little cumin, some chili powder, granulated garlic, and we have a little Tony Chachere's Creole. All right, guys, if you can see what we have going on, I have just enough water in my pot to just cover the ham. We're not trying to have a ton of water in here. We want some of that liquid to cook down, because when you make beans, you don't want to have them super runny or soupy. So got just enough to cover our ham. I'm going to add in just over a tablespoon of minced garlic. Then we're going to add in all of these veggies that we had out of that pot. That's about a half of a green pepper and a half of a chopped white onion. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to put this on, get this to a rolling boil. Then we're going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for about an hour to hour and a half. When we get to that point, I'll bring you guys back in. All right. We've had our ham going for a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes. So what we're going to do now is going to pull that ham bone out, and we're going to get all the little bits out of there. And we're going to start shredding that ham and then set it to the side for a little bit. After we've done that, we're going to start seasoning our broth. We're going to add some garlic powder to it, some black pepper, that cumin, and that chili powder that we talked about at the beginning of the video. Like I said, when we're cooking in layers of flavor. So that first layer was the meat and the vegetables. This is the second layer with the seasonings. We want to make sure that this broth is on point before we even add the beans to it. That way, we're ahead of the game when it comes to seasoning. So now's that dark chili powder. You can use regular chili powder. I just only happen to have dark in my home at the moment. So give it a good stir. And now we're going to add some of that Tony Chachere's in there as well. Be careful with that, because it does have quite a bit of salt in it, and you want to be careful with that. At least I do. So you can add as little or as much as you like of that, but you want to make sure that this broth is good and seasoned before we add the beans. While we're waiting, guys, if you guys give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Share the video out. I would really appreciate it as well. Add that little black pepper to it. Now this is an awesome dish. Normally when you're making ham and beans, I think most people use like wet white beans or like a navy bean or something like that. And I've done that as well, but I really like pinto beans, so I just decided to use pinto beans today. So now we're just going to go ahead and add in our beans, and we're going to allow those to come up to a rolling boil, and then we're going to bring that back down to a simmer and let it go as well. So got those beans in there, got it a stir, and now it's time to let them go. All right, guys, we've had these beans rolling for about 45 minutes. We're just going to give them a good check. Come in, give them a stir, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of the pot, and just keep it rolling. Then we're going to go ahead on and add back in that ham that we pulled off of that bone, and then we're going to add in another half of a white onion. So just add some more flavors in there, and just get that ham back in there and start getting heat back up. Flavors. That's what we're going for here. So now we got our ham back in there. We're just going to give it another good stir and allow it to keep rolling, guys. Did you guys grow up eating ham and beans or anything like that? If you did, let me know in the comment section. I was not a bean fan as a kid, but the older I've gotten, I just love them to death. So, all right, y'all. Now we're about an hour and a half in. We're just going to give it a little taste. It needs a little bit more of that Tony seasoning, so we're going to hit it with a little bit more of that. As far as the other seasonings are concerned, we're pretty good. They were good on the garlic and the pepper and the cumin and the chili powder, but we did need a little bit more sodium. And again, that Tony's has a little bit of heat to it as well. So, all right, now we're at 2 hours. Again, now if you wanted to have, this is more of a soup. If you didn't want it soupy, you could have used less liquid and you'd be perfectly fine with that. But this is a ham and bean soup. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take a potato masher and I'm going to just mash around in the pot just a little bit to mash up some of those beans. That is going to help thicken up our gravy a little bit, as well as give it a little bit of a creamy texture. So you can or you cannot do that, but we're going to do that just to give it a little bit more of a creamier and thicker texture to our soup. All right, guys, that's it. That's our soup. We're gonna let it cool a little bit, then we're gonna plate up and give it a taste. Stick around. All right, here's the finished product, guys. Ham and bean soup. You can see how rich it is. See that ham in there, those tender beans. And then if you can see it, I got a nice fried up corn cake to go with it. That thing is delicious. I will have a video on how I make my corn cakes coming soon as well, so be on the lookout for that. But I'll tell you, this is delicious. Smacking, y'all. Smacking. Y'all give this recipe a shot. I'm sure you'll love it, especially if you love beans. Just look at that. Go ahead and get you a bite. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I truly appreciate you guys for watching. Again, God bless.